Hey, spooky friends, and welcome to The Three Twisted Sisters, hosted by Britt.
Kay.
And Lexi.
Wait, what the
Here
Wait,
you go.
what?
I didn't tell you guys.
Lexi?
Yeah, my name is just too long.
That's true. I never
Alex
use your
got
full
raw.
name. I never use your full name. Lexi.
Yeah.
That's
hey.
cute.
Lexi, that's fun. That's fresh.
That's hip. That's happening.
It's me.
He's gonna drop it on us in the intro.
Hey, by the way,
Hey guys, my name is no longer Britt. It's Nee. Call me Nee.
There you go. Okay, we
Okay,
ready to
Nee.
go, Lexi?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I like it. It's got a nice ring
Me
to
too.
All right.
it.
Cute. It's cute.
Thank you.
Oh my
Thought
god.
So
about it myself.
Yeah. On today's twisted episode, we are going to be talking about moon rituals. But first and foremost, we have a motherfucking birthday this week. It's our very own
Oh.
Lexi's birthday.
Hey,
Whoop, whoop. Lexi's turning
Don't.
26.
Ow, ow.
The big O 26. It's
Are
really
you
not that big of a
excited?
deal.
no, I've had so many breakdowns because it just like I'm getting old.
Oh my gosh. Literally, I feel like I say this all the time. I just turned 30, and I swear
Just.
there's a bird in here. Okay. I turned 30, and honestly, I feel like all my 20s, after 25 especially, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting so old. What is going on? And then I feel like on my 30th birthday, I just hit a switch and had a completely different like way of thinking. And I am rambling.
No, I had that same thing, but mine was 25. What did I do on my 25th birthday?
She had a funeral.
I had a
The fucking
funeral
drama.
to
The
my
fucking
youth.
drama.
And when I did that, everyone was like, you're supposed to do that on your 30th birthday. Why are you doing it on your 25th? And I was like, why would I do it on my 30th? Like, 30, flirty, and thriving. Like, I do it on my 25th. I was like a quarter of a century old. Life is over. Cells stop regenerating. So you die a little bit every single day.
Oh my god.
So,
Happy
not?
birthday, Lexi.
Here
Yeah.
goes my next breakdown.
And the thing is, I was like, whatever, like, screw it. And I never even, you are the one who reminds me of my age. I never think of my age.
My skin's gonna stop.
Girl.
Regenerating.
You're just freaking out. Okay, we went swimming last week.
Oh my god!
We went
Sorry.
swimming last week. And kids will be kids. And they say the darndest things. There's been so
Oh.
many shows about children just being silly. Like, what did he even say?
Oh my god. It's still like the knife is still in my heart. Sorry. Okay, so
Tell us.
we're swimming, we're having a great old time. I'm tossing these kids, like launching them. And then he goes, oh my god, I can't even say it. It puts me back to that state where I was freaking out all day. Like, I kid you not, after he said that, I was on one. Like, not on one, like,
All day?
I was like,
For the last week.
I was like super like freaking out all day, right? Anyways.
What did he say?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So he comes out of the water and he's like, Auntie Lexi, you have a lot of wrinkles around your eyes, and I about lost it. I was like, get out of here.
Whoa!
You picked him up and you threw him across the pool. But what did I say right after that?
You're fine. You're 26. You're young. You're fine. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not even 26 yet, so.
You're like, so what the fuck?
But I was like, shut up, dude. Like, you're fucking 26. You're fine.
I'm still 25.
No, I get it.
I don't even remember I'm 29 sometimes. Yesterday, I don't even know how it got brought up, but we were talking about graduation, and I was like, oh man, I graduated like 9-10 years ago. And then I was like,
11.
That was 11 years ago. Oh my gosh, another year went by. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
well, for one thing, it's like I feel. Sorry, I'm spazzing out Roxy right now. I feel like hitting the 30 mark, I was so terrified. I was like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. Like, this is gonna be crazy. Just because it's like that, I don't know, society's fucking pressure on women to be their best perfect selves. And oh my gosh, if
and
you're getting
men.
older, yeah. But
Like,
it for
everyone,
me,
it's like 30.
it was-
Sorry for me, but like 30 in society is like the precipice of like, you better have your career, your home, your family, everything established
yeah,
by 30, at the latest 32.
yeah.
And it's like, chill,
That's
dude.
not even, yeah. Are you kidding? So I feel like 20s were just me figuring shit out, having a lot of bad haircuts. And then my 30s have kind of transitioned into I'm less harsh on myself when it comes to all that shit and just switching your mindset. I don't know. It's going to happen, Alex, and it's going to be great. You're going to
We'll
get
see
that
how many
confidence.
breakdowns it takes for me to
Hey,
get there.
at least you're 26 and you're not 16 again.
That's true.
Ugh.
Ah,
I would, you know, how some
16-year-old
people are
me?
like, I miss high school. I would relive it. Ugh. I didn't even go to high school when I was in high school. I would never relive those times.
Good night and goodbye to high school. Absolutely.
The only thing I do miss is not paying bills. But even
Yeah.
that is like, that's not that big of a deal.
And really, like, the simplicity of it. Like, really, you got to go to school. You got to show up to these classes. Do okay. Yeah,
I feel like our life is pretty simple right now.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
have
true.
too much, like, I do drama, not allowed. Nothing's allowed. Stuff was way worse, way longer ago.
I had no drama.
And our hormones were all.
But I had no friends, so like I was a loner.
Hey, we were drama kids.
That's worse. Somehow that's worse.
Hey, I always say, because it's like drama, choir, and band. They're all like, they all like talk shit about each other. So I'm like, well, at least I wasn't in band.
I was like
choir.
Choir, but then it's like, you guys are fucking cool too, because you can play music and sing and shit. And I'm like,
yeah. And we couldn't act.
we could project the fuck out of places.
Yes, we could. Yeah.
I was like a jock with no friends. That's the worst combination.
I mean,
fine.
Lexi.
I grew. I built character. I don't know what character, but it built it.
Yes.
It built your shy character.
I need to not.
But with a name like Lexi, 26-year-old Lexi comes into the room.
She
Like,
makes
it's a year
eye
from when
contact
you
with
change.
Mark Sloan. They fall in love.
Oh my god.
How old was she in that? Was she 26?
I want to say she was like in her 20s.
Yeah,
well, she was like
that-
22 or 20. No, she had to have been 26.
Yeah, because they go to med school.
See?
Right?
There you go.
My
Just
Mark
find you
Sloan's
Mark
around.
Sloan.
He's around the corner.
You got him, baby.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Hey.
But anyways, so
Tangents forever. Yes. So anyway, after that fucking long-winded shit, this week we have Lexi's beautiful birthday, and on Sunday, the 7th of August, is actually Friendship Day.
Aww.
Isn't that cute?
Yes, it is. Ain't that cute?
Isn't that real cute? But what's crazy, summer is already coming to a close. I mean, low-key, thankfully, because I love the fall. But at the same time, the kids are starting school, and it's just like a whirlwind nightmare. I feel like this next month and a half is going to be wild for me personally. Good things, but just busy as fork.
Yeah, your kids started early. Mine still have another week, which is still early, but
Not early enough.
on one hand, because all of us work from home, so it's like, oh, it's great. We get to be with the kids all summer, all day, every single day, nonstop. Kids, which we love them. They're sweet. but it's like, oh, we just can't entertain them that much.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Auntie
Right.
Alex, want to play Legos? Cool, this is lame now. Want to play Super Smash? Cool, this is lame. Let's go run around for a few minutes. I'm like, okay, haven't even played Legos yet.
Yeah.
Who's Auntie Alex?
Oh, son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
It's just hard to entertain them. Like that's
Oh.
the biggest problem is nothing is enough. They're just always bored no matter
Yeah.
what we have them do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
Yeah.
I know we were just talking about this yesterday. It's going to be so exciting when they go back. But then having a silent house all day.
I know. I feel like I might be the only parent ever to feel this way, but I was like, aside from them like seeing their friends and learning and all that fun stuff about school, I was like, I'm not ready for them to go back. I'm not ready for summer to be over. And my mom, our mom was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I definitely am gonna miss them, but I'm also gonna be able to get so much else
I know.
done. So
I know, that's so, yeah.
on one hand, it's like, yes, that's gonna be a bummer because they're so fun. But on the other
They're
hand, it's
so freaking funny.
yeah, they are.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really coming into that sarcastic.
Every time I talk, they're like, "You're sarcastic." I'm like, "No, like I'm trying to tell you something."
Yeah.
Like,
What was
like-
it yesterday? It was like
I forget
you did
what
a
it
good
was.
job.
Yeah.
Oh, cleaning their room.
Yeah.
I was like, show your Auntie Lexi that you cleaned your room. And they're like, yeah, go look. And she comes out, she's like, good job, guys. And my oldest was like, oh, yeah, real nice. You know, it actually took us a while to do that. And she was like,
I was like, I'm trying to be nice to you.
They're around too much sarcasm.
yeah, but they're getting it. They'll have fun when they go back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely ready for fall, though.
They'll be back. To
Oh, my
school in
no.
a few moons. See what I did there?
Oh, a few moons. Ugh.
Bringing it back to the topic at hand.
Yes. So what is a moon?
So essentially, the moon is the rock you see in the sky. Right?
Okay.
It's a rock that the sun hits, and that's why we see it. Right?
Okay.
The sun hits it.
Like the light beam.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Use your noggin.
I think you meant
nagging.
the sun reflects against it.
Okay, it reflects, hits, same thing.
All right,
kidding.
you're going out of the
Oh,
shot.
sorry. So the phases.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the sun hits
So
it.
the sun hits it right there.
Just scoot her.
No, she's so precious.
She's so
This is my
precious.
daughter. Anyways,
Daughter.
so
Adult.
there's different phases of the moon,
Mhm.
obviously. And the beginning of it is the new moon. That means you can't see it because it's farthest away from the sun. So like you're literally like look in the sky like no moon,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And then it's the waning crescent,
Mhm.
and then it's the first quarter, and then the waxing gibbous,
Mm.
and then the full moon, which you see, and it's the
Okay.
closest to the sun,
Oh.
right? And then it's the waning gibbous, and the third quarter, and then the waning crescent.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a lot of moon cycles. My favorite thing, I mean, it's super basic, but I love the like pictures or like t-shirts with like the moon cycles on them. I think it's so
the
pretty.
moon phases. I
Mhm.
think
Oh, they're
really,
so
really
cute.
pretty.
I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
I like to see them as mirrors.
As a
Like
what?
when they
Oh,
have like
yes.
the mirror shapes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
that's cute.
I like the carved wood, like shelving stuff with
Yeah.
the moon on it.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Yeah,
That is cute.
it is pretty cute.
But yeah, I love the moon.
Me too.
Like-
And that's the
Freaking love
what's
it.
cool is like throughout centuries, the moon has always been like an obsession, which is kind of cool because like let's say we didn't have like a clock or time way back in the time, way back before all this technology.
Before clocks and time.
Yeah. they would use the moon to like keep track of days essentially
Okay.
because
And
like
what-
they had
So
In
they
what
wouldn't-
way?
You mean like the sun, like a sundial?
no. So the sundial was for like to track the hour and like the day, but like if they wanted to track anything further than just the day, to like figure out like we're gonna go on a commute in 2 moons, or when the moon is like this shape.
Gotcha.
Like they would use
Oh.
that as a reference for time or
Oh,
days.
that's cool.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
It used to freak me out when I was a kid when like it would be sunny out, like daytime, middle of the day, and then you see the moon. It wouldn't freak me out, but it would like it blew my mind because I feel like so many shows and TVs, it's like the sun comes up, sun goes down, moon comes up, and like
Yeah, they're like
when you
opposites
see
of
them
each
like
other.
together, it's like
You're like, whoa, what's going on?
yeah.
Yeah. What in the Alice in Wonderland is this shit?
Yeah. I wonder what like the first civilizations that like started really tracking that thought when they saw both of them together too.
There's
I
been
know.
some out of pocket ideas.
Like what?
Okay. Let's hear them.
There's one that the ancient Greek thought was that the dead went, like that's where they went when they died, and they just like chilled there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Be
And then
cold.
the Hindus, kind of similar,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more of like the souls of the dead would go in like basically like a waiting room. Is like the moon was a waiting room for their like next reincarnation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I used to think that when I was a kid because I used to think heaven was like in the atmosphere or in space, and
Mhm.
that the moon was like that first little jump to. That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then this one's super cool. So the Polynesian Islanders, so Hawaiians in the Pacific,
Mhm.
right, used to believe that it was like a goddess, and her name was Haina. I feel like I'm saying that correctly. Haina, right? And she was like this very strong feminine power that like came with the moon. And it was said that females were like her representatives on Earth.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like
Are
that
you guys
too.
on your moon cycle? What do they call us?
What?
When you're on your period and they say like,
Oh.
"Are you? It's my moon
Oh,
day."
I call it Shark Week.
But there's like a, it's my moon day. I'm in my moon week.
Well, it's interesting because the moon cycle is like 28, 29 days, and so is a period cycle.
Oh, that's true.
So that kind of checks out.
It's kind of cool.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how I was like, oh. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Interesting. But she is the goddess of the moon. She is a deity to like that culture, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Very neat.
So yeah, I thought it was super dope that like their not definition, but like their interpretation of the moon was like it's like a deity up there.
Yeah.
It's like pretty cool, you know? Like I wonder
like
how many
that.
There's actually a lot of ancient cultures that have worshipped the moon. Like Egyptians, Babylonians, different kind of like Native Americans, they still have different worships for the moon. And what I always say this whenever we talk about like conspiracies or like monsters or folklore or something like that, we're like, how, if they're just fake, how did all of these different civilizations that have never met each other up until, you know, more recent times, but like thousands and thousands of years ago,
like,
they all saw similar things.
Yeah, like they couldn't have like communication, like, hey, make sure you put this on your tomb.
Yeah.
Like,
but like it's
Right.
like they all worshiped the moon, which I guess it makes sense, like this giant, beautiful ball of light in the sky or whatever, the sun and the moon. But the thing about that is that they've also, because like when I think of full moon, other than like ritualistic stuff, I think of werewolves.
Gonna freak
Right?
them out at night.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the werewolf and like they come out during the full moon. And like one thing that I used to think a lot was like, okay, imagine the full moon in the daytime. Do they come out then too? Or is it only when the full moon comes out at night?
But
Oh, I get what you mean.
But can they come into their wolf form on other nights, not just on the full moon night?
Well, it depends on what kind of like folk lore that you're actually reading, because different cultures or writers or authors, they all write kind of different things. But the whole breakdown of where werewolves came from goes all the way back to Greek mythology, when Zeus was served a plate of human flesh by
Ew.
a man named Lycan, and he punished him by turning him into a wolf.
Why would he give him human?
Interesting.
Yeah. So then that's kind of where it sparked, was Lycan was now part wolf.
How did he reproduce so many more other wolves?
I don't know. I mean, he's serving a god,
Procreation,
the god
baby.
of all gods, flesh. I mean, the hell is he thinking? Who knows? Who knows what kind of followers he's got? But yeah, that's kind of where a lot of it stemmed from, is that. But then that's interesting because, okay, that's Greek mythology. Well, then how did Egyptians pick it up? How did indigenous Native Americans pick it up? You know, like different things like that, where there's been hieroglyphics and drawings done of werewolves and aliens and vampires, but now we're talking about werewolves in different caves around the world where people didn't, you know, interconnectedly travel. So it's just amazing. Like, is there some truth to this? But the thing is that like the ancient texts, none of them specify that the wolf has to come out from the full moon. That's kind of been picked up later on, not like super far later, but throughout time, people have noticed that when there's a full moon, behaviors change, attitudes change, everything kind of changes with people and animals. So that's kind of where the werewolf and the full moon kind of intertwined, was that they're a normal human for X amount of time, but then their personality and behaviors change when the full moon comes. And what's interesting is that, you know how the moon is responsible for like the wind and the tides in the ocean? So they've noticed that sharks act very weird during full moons.
Really?
Like they go on a feeding frenzy. They act like super aggressive, like really crazy, and they will eat everything.
Do sharks?
You love sharks, Kayla.
You do. Do sharks?
Kayla, her weekly shark fact.
I respect sharks, but it's interesting because it's the way that the tide pulls. That's what they think. They're assuming that they act like that during the full moon because of the way that the full moon makes the tide react. So then it makes them crazy.
I have a little bit of an answer for that.
Oh, do
in my notes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, what do you got? Do share.
So the moon is essentially stuck in our atmosphere, right? In our whole situation. So the moon's gravitational pull on our planet is what causes the tides. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
The moon's gravitational pull. You didn't say it like that, though. The moon's gravitational pull on Earth causes predictable tides. So the rise and fall of the tides specifically. So if you think about all of, humans, animals, we all have like a very high percentage of water within our bodies. So if you think that the moon's gravitational pull affects the oceans, why wouldn't it affect us?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I've never even thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So when you think about our bodies, the human body is made up of around 75% water on a good day, hydrated day, in comparison to the oceans and things. Obviously, it's on a much smaller scale within our own body, but we still have those influences or side effects of the moon and its cycles. So how exactly to use the moon's power to your advantage, I have a couple ideas. So we're going to start off with the new moon. So to harness the powers of the moon and to use them to our advantages, let me first start by breaking down the 4 major cycles. So we have the new moon, waxing, full moon, and waning. So during the new moon, you're going to want to think about like new beginnings, new intentions. And then with the waxing moon, it's all about growth. It's all about planning, and it's all about acting. So you're literally putting like those intentions to work. And with the full moon, We want to harness as much of that power, as much as that success, the ability to charge your magical items or yourself just in general. That's what the full moon is for. And then for our waning cycles, we want to let go and we want to release and banish that negativity away. So those are the four main types of moon cycles that we're working with when it comes to rituals. So starting right off the bat with new moon rituals, you want to have your intentions very clear for the next month ahead. You want to be journaling. You want to make your lists, baby. You want to get everything written out. What do you want in your next month of life? Next, you can go further than a month, but I'm just going to stick with the month because of the cycles. Another thing that you want to do is light a white candle. Now, it can really be any color. Just, light it with intention. Boom, roasted. I got my candle right here. I want to light this candle for protection. The flame of this candle will be protecting me. That kind of thing is what I mean. And lighting a candle on the new moon is essentially bringing in that light, like literally, like symbolizing bringing light into your life, and into those dark places that you might still be processing through. The new moon is actually the darkest night of the month, so that's kind of where that candle ties into.
Yeah, I always thought, like when we learned about the moon in school and different moon cycles and stuff like that, I don't remember if it was my teacher that told me or I came up with it on my own, but like new moon to me meant no moon. That's how I like remembered that the new moon was completely dark. And so whenever it's like the new moon night, I just like love going out because it's like you can just see nothing. It's just like insane.
My new moon reference to imagine what the moon looks like.
What?
Super fucking corny.
Twilight?
Twilight!
Oh god.
the new moon. Oh my god.
Freaking Twilight, man. What a great movie series.
No.
Anyways, it's a guilty pleasure, that's for sure.
Mhm.
The big thing about the new moon is that you want to allow yourself to let the new in. Let go of things that are not serving you, as far as like routine, people, workplace, things like that are no longer serving you. Don't just quit your job right here during the new moon, but more or less open your mind to new horizons. Alrighty, so the second one is the waxing cycles. This is literally when the moon's light or power, the moon's power itself, is growing little by little, right? Through the month. So this is the growing cycle. So you want to be manifesting. You want to be putting pen to paper, thought to
Action?
yeah, thought to action, anything to get that fucking growth going that you deserve. Grow like that beautiful flower that you want to be. The biggest things that I would say during a waxing moon, how to utilize that energy, would be not only manifestations, but gratitude. So you want to be displaying gratitude, whether that be gratitude journaling. Sometimes we all are guilty of needing that reminder of these are the things that I am thankful for, and and even just to have that visual thing to look back on. Also, waxing moon cycles are the perfect time if you want to do like a vision board. If you want to update your vision board, I have mine actually right over here on my wall. I have an empty cork board too. It's actually over there. But to kind of use those waxing cycles to, what else do I want to be manifesting? What else do I want to visually look at every day and see myself having? Good time to do it for sure. Our third moon cycle is actually the waning cycle. And with that one, we are wanting to let it go. So this is all about releasing. This is about forgiveness. Think of this time as like a cleanse. So you want to almost get in that spring cleaning gear, and straighten up your space, your living space, your home, your car, things like that, just to let that cluttered, trapped energy, good or bad, trapped energy out and release it. It'd be a good time to do spell work for releasing, for forgiveness, for letting things go, enforcing boundaries. This would be a good time to do that, as well as using any sort of uh, cleansing tools. Like Palo Santos is like one of my favorites to use. It's the least controversial. It's open practice, so that one is also really good to use. Last but not least is the full moon cycle. So with this one, the moon is at its brightest, its fullest. It has the most power necessary that the moon will have during that monthly cycle. And with this, we want to remember that it's going to be draining. We want to remember that with the full moon, we have an increase to open the floodgates of emotions and really looking at ourselves and looking at our life and going, whoa, 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 whoa. This is a time.
How?
Just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What do we need to work on? What do we need to be, like that kind of feeling. So on the full moon, and really do this all the cycles as much as you can, but first and foremost, we are going to want to ground ourselves and we want to meditate. So recognizing the moon as a powerful energy source for magic, for spirituality, for life here on earth. We will be connecting with nature in a sense because the moon is natural. It's beautiful, whatever. So the main thing to do during the full moon is to ground yourself, connect with Mother Earth, whether that be going outside, taking a nature walk, a hike. I know that a lot of people like to do moon walks. Pardon me. For me personally, I'm good with seeing the moon in my backyard. I don't need to go for a walk at night. That's stranger danger in my mind. But even just like I'm going to be discussing moon baths. This is like moon basking, where you're literally viewing the moon in all its glory and you're letting the like moon rays penetrate your skin.
You're having it's like so bright around you right now.
Yeah.
It's
Like the moon's doing it
the
right
moon
now.
is like,
Yeah. Hi, baby. So, you want to connect with Mother Earth, but you also want to connect with your inner spirit, which is kind of something you can do with meditation as well. You want to tap into how you might need to recalibrate, whether that be spiritually, emotionally, within your relationships, your work life, your day-to-day routine, whether that be if you feel any sort of funkifiedness, you want to kind of take note of it and say, what can I do to, use my energy in a better way? What is there for me to do? Biggest fucking thing, and I know not many people, when they hear journaling, they're like, I don't have time to do that. Like, that's a daily practice. No, it does not have to be a daily practice. You can do it strictly on days when you're having high emotions and you just want to let things out. The full moon is a perfect time to journal. Really, any moon cycle, journal, let your feelings out, to better understand yourself and kind of how you're processing certain things in your life. So the full moon is there to remind us that it's time to kind of like recalibrate things, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel as far as for the month ahead, I guess. So this is a perfect time to do some spell work. I'll go into more detail about moon water, but moon water is great for really any cycle, but preferably on the full moon. I I prefer full moon. And last but not least is a moon dance. So this is literally dancing under the full moon. Clothing optional. Under the full moon. And just while you're dancing or like swaying under the moon's rays, this is an ancient practice, okay? This is not just me being some kind of weirdo.
Sure.
Campfire hippie action. No, I'm just kidding.
So she does every full moon.
Yeah. Full moon dances are like ancient practice where you're literally dancing around, and it's almost as if you are clearing out the cobwebs within your spirit, within your soul, and allowing the negativity to fall off you while you're dancing, making room for more positivity or love.
Could you show us an example of the dance?
Do 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 do.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear to me.
Yes. So, as I said, like moon basking, there's also moon baths, which are really wonderful. Showers are just as good. I prefer a bath. I know you prefer a shower.
I just I cannot get into the bath phase. Like if I have to, I'll take a bath, but I am a shower bitch. And it's funny because
Yeah.
I'll sit down in the shower.
It's different though.
Fucking fill up the
Yeah,
water.
no.
I have to be in the mood for a bath.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
I always get the feeling that like I want a blanket while I'm in the bath.
Yeah, it's like there's
And
like
it's irritating that I can't have one.
and like it's like okay, let me fill the water up more, and then it's like like
I still want a
it's gonna,
blanket.
like drown or like flip over, and then it's like.
And then am I supposed
wanna
to
get
read
all
a
the way
book?
under. Yeah.
It's like it's wet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do, ladies
I'm
and
not
gentlemen.
gonna do it. We have a bath. I don't even know if I've
All right.
ever
Well,
used
if our
it.
listeners are interested in trying a moon bath,
Mhm.
I suggest getting a Epsom salt or a bath bomb. Both is cool too. Bubbles, anything that's gonna kind of promote that relaxation. I also enjoy I also enjoy doing a face mask or something like that as well. And while you're in the bath, I try to do 20 to 30 minutes in the water. For me,
How does
okay,
the water
first
not get cold?
you refill it. So for me, I have stage 4 endometriosis, bitch. So I'm in the fucking water trying to get some I'm trying to get some relief. So I'll have the water up all the way to the drain. It'll go down a little bit. Then I'll fill it up with hot water, turn it off. Anyway, so to get you in the mood to take a moon bath, I suggest getting Epsom salt, scented, plain, whatever your preference. Bath bombs are awesome. Bubbles are great. You can do all three and have some fun with that. Just anything to get you relaxed. I also like to partner my bath with a face mask just because I'm like that extra self-care aspect to it. So what you want to do is relax and just try to breathe and focus on yourself. A lot of people like to meditate in the bath, but for me, they
That
say
sounds dangerous.
I know. I'm like, I don't trust myself not to fall asleep. So
Yeah.
for me personally, I will kind of stew for about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, depending, and focus on releasing any pent up tensions, any negativity. Release it out of your body, out of your mind, and imagine that the water is literally charged and cleansing you. Go like on your skin, absorbing through your skin, light, clearing, huge cleansing. So it's like if we give our crystals salt baths, why can't we give ourselves the salt bath? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that aspect. And then when you pull that drain out from the bathtub, imagine that all that negativity, all the hardship that you've gone through the last month, the last year, however long, imagine it going down the drain and it's out of your fucking life. Bye. You know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
That's a moon bath. I'm going to kind of blow through a few of my favorite moon rituals real quick, and then we can all three discuss. So for me, I treat the full moon as its own kind of set day. Same with the new moon too, I suppose. Waning and waxing, I kind of blend it all together because the moon's energy, it's not just, oh, the full moon, you strictly do full moon shit. Oh, it's the new moon, you strictly do new moon shit. You absolutely can and should, because it's like that, the theory of the moon's energy. But really, the main thing about big moon cycle days and nights is that you want to do cleansings, you want to do manifesting, you want to do journaling, release, uh, cleansing my crystals, putting water in direct moonlight. I only do this on the new moon and the full moon, though. Journaling, it's a pretty regular thing. I don't do it every single day. I probably should. But journaling, releasing, letting go, that sort of thing. Moon gazing, moon basking, those are huge. Also, the moon cycles are big about, I've said this a few times already, but about letting in the good. So what you want to try to do is plan creative nights on the specific, like the largest caliber moon cycle days. So not like in between a waxing and waning necessary, like in between this cycle and this cycle. It'll be like, okay, so it's the new moon, I want to make a new project. Boom, that sort of thing. Yoga is also fantastic to do during the moon cycles to get that energy. Same kind of thing, move that energy. It's all about how to recalibrate yourself, cleanse yourself, all of that. So yeah, that's my research.
So I'm pretty much the same when it comes to the moon cycles and like my ritual, if you will. For either the new moon or the full moon, I clean the house. Like I like to have it all cleaned. I'm also very like specific. If I like sweep a certain way, I'm sweeping with intention to get the negativity out of the house.
Everything with intention.
Yeah, and then I uh, will Palo Santo the house and the area, and all of us just completely clean and cleanse everything. Try to declutter as much as possible because, like you said, energy gets stuck in clutter, whether it's good or bad energy, and you just want it out. I give it a chance to open all the windows and doors in the house and just like get fresh life going through there. I meditate. I shower. I don't bathe, but I do shower. I'm not a bath person, but I do shower. And different things that I've used in the past when I shower is like lavender, lavender scents. That's like big for me when it's any moon, like a moon day, full moon or new moon, because it's very relaxing. And then I charge my crystals and I do moon water as well. Now that we live in a place where it rains more often, I like to catch the rainwater. Now you can use it for different things. Same with the moon water. You can either bathe in it, you can clean with it, you can cook with it. If it's moon water, I wouldn't cook with rainwater unless you filter it really well. But you can use it for different things. Like you can do like a potpourri on the oven with your moon water or your rainwater. That way it's extra charged, and that's what I like to do during the new moon and the full moon. I also do different manifesting. During the new moon, I'll write on the bay leaves and then I burn it. I always give back whatever I burn to Mother Earth. So that's just what I do. A lot of journaling, and I also should journal more than I do, I mean. But I make sure that I journal and I do my gratitudes on my big moon day cycles.
Yeah.
Same
And with
thing.
the moon water, I know that there's like traditions that are very that can people can look down on certain things. Now, I want to say with moon water, especially if you're a baby witch, especially if you're just starting out, and you don't have anything else on hand, I've literally taken a container of water bottles. Not me personally, my husband. let me not take his credit. He has literally moved outside a full thing of water bottles because with full moons, I prefer to drink full moon water. New moon water is also fantastic, but the full moon I really like too. But it's in a plastic container. So I usually would be like, glass, you have to use glass, but plastic, if you're in a pinch, works just as fine.
Yeah. I was also going to say, you just reminded me, don't be afraid of solar eclipses. Everyone in the world right now, in the spiritual world, on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, I don't even have a Twitter, but I'm assuming that they're there too, are like, be wary of doing rituals during the solar eclipse. Don't manifest, don't charge your water. Do
weird.
what you want to do, but
Yeah.
the energy during a lunar or a solar eclipse is so amazing. And if you have a chance to harness it. And that's essentially what you're doing with your crystal charging and your moon water, is that you're collecting that energy. So don't be afraid to manifest on a solar eclipse, or any eclipse for that matter. Revel in it, because it's amazing. Don't be afraid of it. That was what I was going to say, was that a lot of people can be. Don't be. It's awesome. I will spill my water.
That I do with the new moon. It's kind of cool. So I write a letter, and it's like what I want, essentially, like what I'm hoping for, whether it's like career or personal life. Like I write it like I've already done it.
And that's cool.
I write it. I never send it, but I always put my brother's name, I'm sending it to him and updating him about my life and how it's been. And then I seal it.
Oh, Lexi, that's so cute.
Yeah, that's actually super cool. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to manifesting, and they talk about it a lot in The Secret, is you need to live as if you already have it. Well, it's hard for some people to visualize, if they're wanting $1 million, well, how would I be living with $1 million? I'm still going to work. I wouldn't do that, whatever. But that's a perfect way to visualize your manifestations, is to write like you've already had.
So I want to, last minute thoughts about the moon, is you want to create your sacred space, whether it be where you meditate, whether it be whether it be where you relax, where you take a load off. Take the time to cleanse your area. Take the time to cleanse yourself, recharge, all of that stuff.
Marvel is right here. She's she always pushes in between.
But yeah, so that's just kind of a quick breakdown on the moon and moon rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all, you twisted listeners, for tuning in. Very much appreciated.
Yes, and thank you to our listeners who have already started sending in their own stories. It's so exciting to hear from you guys and to, get a little taste of your spooky stuff. Now, we would love to have some more so we can compile it into a big episode for you guys, our listener episode. So feel free to send us your stories, anything across, the paranormal spectrum, the spiritual spectrum. We can go into creepy things like crime, anything like that you guys want to hear us talk about, or any stories you want to tell. We are at a campfire here, babies. Fucking tell us.
Wow. Yes, we've had a couple where it goes on the paranormal side versus some other fun stuff, and we'll have a whole episode about all the submissions that we've had so far, but they are so fun and we are having a blast reading them. So if you have a story that you want to tell us, or you have a topic that you want us to talk about, definitely send us a message. We've got our TikTok and our Instagram at _3 Twisted Sisters. If you're not watching this on YouTube, our YouTube is 3 Twisted Sisters Podcast. Comment below, subscribe, or you can send us an email to our email, which is 3twistedsisterspodcast@gmail.com. We definitely want to hear from you guys. We want to get as many submissions as we can, because it is a blast. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Yes, you guys all take care. Have a wonderful week and stay
Stay twisted.
Bye.